The Game. Triple H is the current COO of WWE. He specializes in developing talent and is the originator and creative head of NXT. Though his involvement in WWE management has made quite an impact thus far, nobody can forget the equally, if not more so, effect he's had on the wrestling business during his time in the ring. Over his career, Triple H has won over 25 titles, holding the World Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championships 5 times each. Triple H has also held tag titles, the European title, was crowned King of the Ring, and is a 2-time Royal Rumble winner, the last of which earned him his 9th reign as WWE Champion. Despite all the times he's put his body on the line for our entertainment, Triple H's riskiest move was marrying his wife, Raw Commissioner Stephanie McMahon, daughter of the boss, WWE Chairman Vince McMahon. Though Triple H received a lot of criticism in his positioning in WWE because of his ties to the McMahon family, it's still clear that he has a head for his business and has put in a valiant effort to getting where he is today. Born Paul Levesque, Triple H's interest in fitness and sports entertainment started at a very young age. He began lifting at the age of 14 while living in his actual birthplace, Nashua, New Hampshire, not Greenwich, Connecticut, which is where he is billed to be from in WWE. By age 19, Levesque was taking part in bodybuilding competitions, soon winning the title of Mr. Teenage New Hampshire in 1988. By 92, Triple H was trained at Killer Kowalski's wrestling school in Massachusetts. This is where he would meet fellow classmates and future WWE stars Perry Saturn, as well as Chyna, whom he would also be involved with later in his career. Within 2 years, Triple H started performing for WCW under the ring name Terra Ryzing. He was later renamed to Jean-Paul Levesque, with an upper-class French gimmick given to him. During his time, Triple H developed his iconic finishing maneuver, the pedigree. After forming a brief tag team with William Regal, at the time he was known as Lord Steven Regal, Triple H left WCW to work for WWE. In WWE, Triple H's upper-class aristocrat character would continue under the name Hunter Hearst Helmsley. The character was being featured regularly on Raw, and his talents wouldn't go unnoticed by the boys in the back. Friends Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash, seeing Hunter's work ethic, and aware that Triple H didn't drink or party as he was too focused on developing his character, invited the future COO to hang out with them, immediately dubbing him their designated driver, along with Razor Ramon Scott Hall and the 1-2-3 Kid Sean Waltman. The quintet would soon be known in the locker room as the Clique. The Clique received a lot of heat in the back, often being accused of pulling creative strings with Vince McMahon. Older generation stars still working with the company also didn't enjoy the Clique because of their on-screen as well as backstage antics, viewing their behavior as bad for business. These accusations came to a head when the group did the infamous curtain call during '96 at a house show in Madison Square Garden. Back in the day, good guys were good guys, bad guys were bad guys, and WWE tried to make their fictitious rivalries appear real. The Clique committed the ultimate wrestling sin when, after a main event steel cage match between the heroic Shawn Michaels and villainous Kevin Nash, Scott Hall and Triple H ran to the ring and the group hugged each other, causing an intermingling of good and evil that not only blew the minds of the audience in attendance, but also blew steam out of the ears of management. Kevin Nash and Scott Hall were both leaving from WWE to WCW, and this curtain call was the Clique's goodbye. This marked the first time a major wrestling promotion had to speak about sports entertainment being scripted. Since Nash and Hall were no longer with the company and Michaels was the champion, Triple H had to endure all of the punishment. Originally planned to win King of the Ring in '96, the crown was instead given to Stone Cold Steve Austin, whose career would blast off with the birth of Austin 316. While Austin's career began to explode, Triple H would become a jobber for several months, losing pretty much to anyone. Keeping his head high, Triple H endured his punishment and eventually climbed his way back to the top of the mountain, winning his first Intercontinental Championship from Mark Marrow. He would soon hire Killer Kowalski Wrestling School classmate Chyna to be his bodyguard. Triple H's success would continue into '97 when he finally did get that King of the Ring crown. During the same year, DX was formed under the original lineup of Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Chyna, and Rick Rude, just as the Monday Night Wars were getting underway. Although a rivalry was forming between DX and NWO, the factions would show companionship by doing the Clique's infamous too sweet hand gesture to the camera. DX and NWO are considered to be the greatest factions of all time. When Michaels received a back injury that put him out of action, however, Triple H stepped up as the new leader of DX, introducing its newest member, Clique member Sean Waltman, whose WWE persona had changed from the humble 1-2-3 Kid to the much edgier X-Pac. X-Pac had just been fired from WCW where he was wrestling as Six, and was part of the NWO. Waltman's promo at No Holds Barred witnessed him call out WCW General Manager Eric Bischoff, made a statement on DX's new image under Triple H's leadership, and later that night Triple H recruited the New Age Outlaws Road Dogg Jesse James and Badass Billy Gunn to complete his new stable. This version of DX would quickly take WWE TV in crazy directions, gearing the show towards more adult programming. The group often made crude, sexualized jokes and created one of wrestling's most famous catchphrases.
And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for ya!
DX took things to a whole different level when they found out WCW was doing Nitro in a nearby building. The faction wore soldier-esque uniforms and marched towards the WCW arena with a tank, literally waging war on the company. DX would continue to pick up steam, eventually leading to a feud with Vince McMahon's corporation, which also featured stars like his son Shane McMahon, the Big Boss Man, Ken Shamrock, and The Rock, among others. On an episode of Raw is War, Triple H faced The Rock in an I Quit match for the WWE title. That night, Chyna betrayed Triple H and joined the corporation. At WrestleMania 15, during a match between X-Pac and Shane McMahon for Shane's European title, Triple H cost his friend X-Pac the match, betraying DX and joining the corporation. Soon, Triple H's angle with his future wife Stephanie began when he had supposedly tricked her into being married at a Las Vegas drive-thru chapel. This caused a feud between Vince McMahon and Triple H, leading to a match at Armageddon where Triple H won. Stephanie turned her back on her father and embraced her new husband, officially creating the McMahon-Helmsley faction. At this point, Triple H was a top heel, further fueling the audience's hatred for him when at No Way Out he defeated Mick Foley in a Hell in a Cell match, which prompted Foley to retire. After storylines with The Rock, Kurt Angle, and Chris Jericho, Triple suffered a quadricep injury that kept him out of the ring for 8 months, during which WWE bought WCW and did its flopped Invasion storyline. Fans embraced Triple H with a loud ovation upon his return, flipping him to a face character. He won the Royal Rumble and defeated Chris Jericho for the undisputed title at WrestleMania 18, which he later lost to Hulk Hogan at Backlash. WWE would undergo their first ever brand extension in 2002, separating Raw and SmackDown into 2 rosters. Triple H was drafted to SmackDown, revisiting his feud with Chris Jericho. 2002 also saw NWO make their WWE debut in No Way Out, bringing back Triple H's old friends Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. Shawn Michaels surprisingly also joined the NWO upon his return. Competing on the Raw brand, NWO wanted Triple H to switch sides and join their illustrious stable. Triple H did end up moving to the red side, but gave his best friend HBK a pedigree during what was supposed to be a DX reunion. The former partners had a street fight at SummerSlam in which Michaels won, but Triple H beat him senseless with a sledgehammer after the fact. At the time, WWE had only one world champion who would perform on both brands. When the, at the time, undisputed champion Brock Lesnar became a SmackDown exclusive superstar, Raw didn't have a major champ. GM Eric Bischoff unveiled the World Heavyweight title, modeled after WCW's big gold belt, and awarded it to Triple H. Triple H soon started a controversial rivalry with the IC champion Kane. During this rivalry, Triple H took part in one of the most controversial segments in WWE history, the Katie Vick storyline. Katie Vick was allegedly a woman the game claims Kane had an affair with. The woman died in a car crash in which Kane was the driver. Triple H accused Kane of raping the woman's corpse and saying he had video footage too. The next week, Triple H showed a video in which he, while wearing a Kane mask, is seen hopping in a casket with Katie Vick's corpse, which was actually a mannequin. Triple H then started to pretend to have sex with it. Thankfully, this came to a close at No Mercy when Triple H defeated Kane to retain his World Heavyweight title and combine it with his newly won Intercontinental Championship. After losing the World Heavyweight title in an Elimination Chamber match to Shawn Michaels at the following Survivor Series, he was able to win it back from the Heartbreak Kid at Armageddon. In January of 2003, Triple H began his notorious faction Evolution alongside WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair and rookies at the time Randy Orton and Batista, who made their debuts as a part of the stable. The stable would show dominance throughout the year. At Armageddon 2003, not only did Triple H once again win the world title, this time it was in a triple threat match with Kane and the champion Goldberg. Randy Orton was able to capture the Intercontinental title, and Ric Flair and Batista were able to win the tag titles, meaning that every member of Evolution had gold around their waist. Evolution soon kicked Randy Orton from the group and then disbanded. Months later, Triple H lost the world title to Batista at WrestleMania 21. After losing 2 more rematches, Triple H was sidelined due to a neck injury. When Triple H returned, he began a feud with former Evolution partner Ric Flair, trying to take the Legend's Intercontinental title. Triple H was unsuccessful, losing a steel cage match at Taboo Tuesday. In 2006, Triple H and Shawn Michaels reunited, a more family-friendly variation of DX, turning Triple H face. The duo would shuffle with the likes of the Spirit Squad, the McMahons, and Rated RKO, which was the team of Randy Orton and the Rated R superstar Edge. During a match at New Year's Revolution, Triple H received a torn quadriceps similar to the one from 2001 in his other leg. Triple H underwent surgery in January of 2007. Triple H's final years saw him reform DX once again with Michaels, this time adding a third member in Hornswoggle, or rather unofficial member and mascot in Hornswoggle. After feuding with Randy Orton's Legacy stable featuring Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase Jr., DX sought to win the tag team titles, winning them from the team of Chris Jericho and The Big Show. Not long after, DX would lose the straps to the team of Big Show and The Miz. After losing their rematch for the titles, Shawn Michaels retired. Triple H faced The Undertaker at WrestleMania 26 in a losing effort. On July 18th, Triple H relieved Vince McMahon of on-screen management duties and was soon announced as the COO of the company. In 2013, The Authority was formed alongside with his wife Stephanie McMahon, a huge power-hungry set of higher-ups with selfish motives. The Authority showed similarities to Vince McMahon's corporation of the Attitude Era, and The Authority ran things for a long time, leading all the way up to Triple H winning the 2016 Royal Rumble, and with that, the WWE World Heavyweight title from Roman Reigns. Triple H would lose the title to Reigns at WrestleMania 32, and that's when The Authority disbanded. Now, Triple H put his efforts behind the scenes in finding and enhancing talents. He receives much praise for everything he's done developing today's NXT, as well as WWE's Women's Evolution. Triple H and his wife Stephanie began the Connor's Cure campaign, which is a cancer fund that honors Connor the Crusher McCallick, a Make-A-Wish child who sadly passed away from the disease at the age of 8. Triple H now only makes sporadic appearances on WWE TV, dedicating his time more so to all of his behind-the-scenes work, as well as being a father of 3 daughters. Nonetheless, it's clear that over his career, Triple H has shown his ability to evolve his character, his dedication to WWE, and to deliver what's best for business.